we don't make a lot of let's drag Republicans for being white supremacist kind of content because it's so obvious, right? We like to roast the lefties because I think it's a little more challenging sometimes. But every once in a while, it's just, oh my God. These are the people that are kicking our ass in the polls right now. These are the people that are just ass wiping the left in this country. These new age Republicans. Vivek Ramaswamy just posting his L's.
I saw that.
Posting his L's. I mean, I actually had to like, rub my eyes. I thought I was watching the final scene in Pulp Fiction where they bring out the GIMP, and the GIMP is Vivek Ramaswamy. Everyone, oh my gosh! In this analogy, Ann Coulter is the Zed of the situation, and boy, let's just watch her humiliate. He humiliates himself. Actually, let's not misrepresent this, but let's watch this clip here. It's a minute long. Do you have anything to add before we play it for the people, Gavin?
Nope. I've only actually heard about this one. I haven't seen it yet, so super excited. This is crazy shit, guys.
And that's why I brought on today somebody who I think has some thoughtful perspectives on the future direction of our country, of our conservative movement, and on this question of nationalism and national identity. Somebody who've been fascinated by for a long time and have interacted with on social media, but for the first time we're having at least a live form conversation in the offline sense of it. It's Ann Coulter. So Ann, thanks for coming on, and I'm looking forward to our conversation today.
Me too. Thanks for having me. That was a fantastic opening monologue. I too am a fan of yours. So I'm going to make a point of disagreeing with you so that it will be fun. You are so bright and articulate, and I guess I can call you articulate since you're not an American Black. Can't say that about them. That's derogatory. And that was a great opening segment. Lots of things to talk about there. I agreed with many, many things you said during, in fact, probably more than most other candidates when you were running for president. But I still would not have voted for you because you're an Indian. We'll get back to that.
Imagine just taking that, bro. He just swallows that all. Like, I won't vote for you because of your race, And then she's gonna unironically do the Hunter Thompson, Are you prejudiced? I'll have you know, in spite of his race, this man is very valuable to me,
and completely unprompted too. Like, she's just introducing herself, just showed up on his crappy podcast, and she's like, by the way, I love you, you're awesome, super articulate, wouldn't vote for you because you're not a white person, but can't wait for this conversation. What a wild way to start a podcast.
After she said, I can call you articulate because you're not a young Black, or whatever the she said. She's crazy.
Jesus Christ, bro.
That's the content that's beating us, Gavin. I just wanted you to feel like shit about yourself when you hung up the phone today.
Yeah, and I don't think he went on to call her out or anything. In fact, here's the tweet he put out to share this episode. He says, Ann Coulter told me flat out to my face that she couldn't vote for me, quote unquote, because you're an Indian, even though she agreed with me more than the other candidates. I disagree with her, but respect that she had the guts to speak her mind. It was a riveting. She had the guts to be a racist piece of shit on my podcast to my face. With no pushback.
I guess you do have to give it up to her. All right, we're like, holy shit, bro.
Yeah, dude,
Buchanan look polite.
It kind of reminds me of when Dave Rubin infamously had Ben Shapiro on, and Ben Shapiro was like, "Yeah, I wouldn't show up to your wedding because it's just a celebration of wicked, immoral, gay sex or whatever the fuck."
I respect you as a man and as a commentator, but I would not condone your wedding, so I would not be in attendance there. Unfortunately, that would contradict with my religious freedom. Same as how I would let you in this country. It's free country. I don't make the rules in this country, not for everybody. I only make my own rules that I live by, what I choose to live by, and what I see is an abomination. And I have to tell you, it's an abomination. I like you. I think you're a perfectly reasonable guy that is participating in a abomination, and I also don't think you should be a father either. A father is between a mother and a wife. Wait, your father is between your mother and your what? Never
mind. Yeah, dude, unhinged shit. Ann Coulter basically completely irrelevant at this point. She's never been less relevant during my entire adult life, essentially. So I guess it's pretty fitting that when you do hear from her, it's some crazy shit like this, desperately trying to make headlines and, trigger the libs or whatever.
Well, she up and miscalculated when she tried to call out Trump for not being a real conservative. And it's like, no, dude, his base doesn't care about that. They're going to leave you behind for criticizing their guy, not for actually having principles when it comes to. She was like, he didn't build a wall. We're getting rid of him. And his base was like, Donald Trump. He represents me. He divided for me. Donald Trump,
Yep.
And only socialism they like is when their caregiver wipes the drivel away with the tissue after they've slobbered all over themselves, clapping and jeering for Donald Trump.
And let's not forget that the reason why Ann Coulter turned on Trump in the first place is because he wasn't being as effectively racist as she wanted him to be, and as he promised to be with the construction of the border wall and all of that idiocy. So, at least she's the one principled, truly racist Trump supporter that's willing to disown him if he's not as racist as he promised to be. But yeah, that's Ann Coulter for you guys.
Speaking of roasts, one of the greatest roasts that Comedy Central ever did was the Ann Coulter one. Much discussed. There's the guy that gets up there and is like, Ann Coulter, the harm that you've brought onto society is immeasurable, but it's not too late to make it right. You could kill yourself. And then it's just like the whole place just starts clapping.